Hey, this is the highlight of our discussion right now. Are you guys ready for this? The next thing we have in line is this woman named Mariana Mazuccado. She wrote an article in 2020. And she said it's 2023. Here's how we fix the global economy. No, before we dive into that, I want to pause to say this. Who is Mariana Mazuccado? Let's see what it says about her, particularly. Let me put that on your screen here. All right, Google News. All right, let's look at who Mariana Mazuccado is. So this little short video here is gonna tell you who she is. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. We're just gonna listen just for the introduction. Pay attention to her, I guess, biography or careers and everything. Pay attention to that. Listen.
Hey everyone, welcome to Talks at Google. I'm Matt Bonjovi, and I'm delighted and honored to be joined today by Mariana Mazuccado. Mariana is a professor of economics at University College London, where she is founding director of the UCL Institute for Innovation and Public Purpose. Currently, Mariana advises policymakers around the world on innovation-led, inclusive, and sustainable growth. Her advisory roles are numerous. She is the chair of the World Health Organization's...
Pause right here. Did you hear? She is the chair of the World Health Organization's Council. Keep that in mind. Okay, let's get
Council on the Economics of Health for All, and she's a member of the Scottish Government's Council of Economic Advisors, among many other roles. Mariana is also the author of two highly acclaimed books, The Entrepreneurial State.
The Entrepreneurial State? How do you mix those two words together? Because when you speak of an entrepreneur, you're talking about someone who's creating some type of business, who is inventing something, right? But the state being linked to the word entrepreneurial, that itself should tell you something. I don't want to be a spoiler alert here, but that should really catch your attention. Let's keep going.
Which investigates the critical role that states play in driving growth, and the value of everything, which looks at how value creation needs to be rewarded over value extraction. Mariana is here with us today to discuss her newest book, Mission Economy, a moonshot guide to changing capitalism.
Mission Economy, a moonshot guide to changing capitalism. Guys, are you hearing anything so far? Have your mind been blown so far? Just in the introduction alone, you should have some serious cues about where this is going. We're not going to watch this whole video. I'll put a link in the description. You can check it out yourself. But just the introduction to give you an idea of what you're about to hear and the things we're going to read from her article. Brace yourself.
Taking inspiration from the moonshot programs like Apollo, which successfully coordinated public and private sectors on a massive scale, Mariana calls for the same level of boldness and experimentation to be applied to the biggest problems of our time. And that's exactly what we'll be talking about today. Now, throughout our talk, you might have some great questions popping into your head, and when you do, please go ahead and add them to the chat on the right. We will have time shortly for Mariana to answer some of these, so be sure to get your questions in early. But first, Mariana, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
All right, we can stop right here. We're not going to go any deeper than that. Now, guys, let's get to the article. All right, we heard her introduction. We get a bio. Okay, chat. We got to run. Catch everyone later. You have a good one, Renee. Yeah. Anyway, so let's look at this article. All right, here we are. This is the article that I'm talking about, guys. This is the article that Mariana Mazuccado had written. But I want to begin. The title is, It's 2023. Here is how we fix the global economy. Now, friends, brace yourself. Put on your seatbelt. Seriously. I'm going to show you what this woman had predicted. Now, just in case you think I'm overreacting here, let me get you the original article. I'm gonna get you the original article. Give me 1 second. And I'm gonna show you the date because I have it on reading mode right now. On reading mode, sometimes it hides a few things, but I don't wanna mislead anyone. Listen to this. This is the original article. All right, I have it on reading mode on my Explorer, but here is the thing that I want you to keep in mind. When was this published? Mariana Mazuccado, October 21st, 2020, 6:33 p.m. Do you see this dateline? Please don't sleep on this. This is significant. The time when this was written in comparison to what and how it implies today is really what catches my attention. Now, let's go to the reading format of the article. Now, the first thing I'm going to highlight, I have several things in my notes here. So, we learn about who she is. Now, look at the first prediction, guys. Are you ready for this? Brace yourself. Brace yourself. You're gonna need to brace yourself because you can't. If you can't handle this. 1 second. Oh, great. Good. So here we are. The first thing it says, the year is 2023. The pestilence 19 pandemic has come to an end. Wait. You can't run past that. When was this article written? October 21st, 2020. She says in the article, the year is 2023. The pestilence 19 pandemic has come to an end. What? How did she know pestilence 19? I'm using that word just to bypass the doorkeepers. How did she know pestilence 19 will come to an end in 2023? We are in 2022. Things have toned down, but it's really not over yet. So in other words, the first thing that I see here, it tells me this woman, I came to 3 conclusions right away. I wanna pause here to make this thing very clear. 3 conclusions. Number 1, she is either a prophet. She's either conjecturing, she's guessing, or she's an insider who is revealing the facts. Now, let's begin with a prophet. Number 1, she's not a prophet. Let's crash that off the list. She's not a prophet. She never claimed to be. There's nothing religious about her position. Never said I had a dream from God or nothing like. There's no prophecy here. And if I were to test her prophetically, she doesn't pass the prophetic test. Let's forget about that one. Conjecturing. Could she be guessing? Could she be speculating? I don't think so either. There's no way. Because with the level of academia and degrees and intelligence that this woman have, I don't think she's guessing. I think she knows what she's talking about. Being an economist and being among the board, we have one option left, guys. Now, you can ignore it if you want. We have one option left. This person has to be an insider who is revealing some things that she knows very well is not going to get much traction. Very few people are going to read it. Or she's revealing it for some other purposes. Now, I don't know. Maybe to confuse people, maybe to distract people, maybe to tell the truth. But if you are an insider and you work for the companies who are doing things, whatever they're doing, why would you come out and reveal that publicly? That's a question I want to leave out there, and I would like for you guys to tell me. you would want to keep that a secret, right? Wouldn't that risk your job and things like that? Maybe or maybe not. Or maybe in their notion of revealing these things, maybe the possibility of those things to become real, they can look back and say, I did, told you so, right? Maybe it's one of those things. I don't know. But I think you're right, James. That's who. I think she's an insider. It has to be, right? PSET Vet 34. Yeah. To me, how could you know since 2020 that Pestilence 19 is going to come to an end in 2023? That's the first one. Guys, that blew my mind. But look at this. And the global economy is on a path of recovery. Wait. So the notion connected to Pestilence 19 has something to do with the global economy. Okay. How did we get here? How did our economy and society evolve to overcome the greatest crisis of our age? So according to her, part of the reason why Pestilence 19 is supposedly going to come to an end is going to help fixing the global economy. Wait a minute. Wait. You can't rush past that. We can rush past that. First of all, it makes me ask the question. Have you heard of the Great Reset? Have you heard of these global economists who are supposedly trying to fix the problems of our world? Those guys who says, we have the answer to all your issues? Okay, let me see if I can make this article a little bit larger for you, because I know the words could be a little bit. All right, let's hope that works. So the first part we have, very crucial, very deep. What we have right now, she's talking about the global economy in connection to Pestilence 19. So that's fact number one. Okay, we haven't come to 2020 yet, so we don't know how this is gonna happen. Let's move on to number two. I wanna come down. We're not gonna read the whole article. I posted that article in my description, so you can go check it out. I think this should have been on the news, big time. But hey, the powers that be know what they're doing. Anyway, let's move on. I wanna read this part here that. All right, let me see the European takes first. There are several. Okay, this is the part. This is the part. I don't wanna go past that. There it is. The second thing she said that blew my mind. The European Union was the first to concrete steps in the direction agreeing in August to a historic 1 trillion recovery package. Wait. She said that the European Union are going to agree on a recovery package in the month of August of 1.8 million. When did she make this claim? 2020. 2020. Guys, watch this. Just in case you think I'm crazy. Listen, I'm not crazy. This is Reuters, right? December 2020. So the agreement took place, according to her, it was supposed to take place in August. She predicted that. In December 2020, EU leaders unlock 1 trillion euro budget recovery fund. Climate goals. Do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about now? Christina, you said, I don't think we will ever be able to get rid of it completely, like the flu. Yeah, I think it's here to stay. It's going to be one of those things we live with every year, and we kind of have to, find ways to fight against it. Viruses never really go away. They just mutate and sometimes they become weaker, and every now and then they come back stronger too, so. She is likely an insider, James, that's who. Yeah, and has heard and seen the plan. Yeah. Protective programming, all demonic forms are revealing themselves this day. There we go. All plan. All plan. Economic needs to be good order for the global reset. Agenda 2030 World Economics Forum. Yepers. Yepers, you on point. You got it, girl. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Just like the prophecy, we have been warned all our lives with predictive programming, our TV shows, movies, and so on. We were not paying attention. Yeah. Yeah. You said the word global reset. And I tell people, like, if you're gonna reset something, you're gonna restart something. For those of you who used to play video games or whatever, right? Or maybe still do. When you think of a resetting, when you're resetting something, how do you go about doing that? Is the big question. How do you go about doing that? Well, one of the things you have to do, you kind of have to press the reset button and turn it down. And after you turn it down, then you can restart the whole thing. So the idea is to reset the global economy. We kind of have to tear things apart, turn it down completely, shut it off, and then resets back up, right? That's what I'm hearing. Maybe I'm overthinking this matter, but anyway, that's what reset says to my mind. Well, guys, it only gets better. Only gets better. I've highlighted a number of things on my phone. Now, you went on to say, as part of the package, the EU made it mandatory for the government to receive the funds to implement strange strategies for addressing climate change. Strong strategies for addressing what? Climate change, reducing the digital divide, and strengthening health crisis. So guess what is connected to Pestilence 19? Climate change. So could it be possible climate change was the goal in the first place? Could it be possible the so-called notion to fix and save the world, save the planet, reducing our gas emission usage to go to a lower degree, supposedly because the world is, global warming? I don't know where you stand when it comes to that. But it's very obvious. Climate change, global reset, financial reset, or economic forum, Pestilence 19, all of them are being connected to be used as part of the fixing problem. That's what it sounds like she is saying. Yeah, I think where Russia and Ukraine conflict is key. No peace. World Economic Forum needs no war or conflict. They don't. I think they also love to use those things as distractions as well. There are really some dark, shitty things going on, and we cannot overlook that. And I hate getting into conspiracy theories kind of thing. I'm not one of those guys. But for me to overlook something such as this one, it will be foolish of me. I can't, because this is just too... it just makes a lot of sense. You cannot look at something like that and says it just doesn't matter. So let's move on to the next point. Government use a digital revolutionary impulse. Okay, let's look at that. She made several predictions. Okay. Now, all right, let's look at this one. All right, guys. So let's look at this one right here. Look at this. Governments use a digital revolutionary to improve public services, from digital health to e-cards, and create a citizen-centered welfare state. This transformation requires both supply-side investment and demand-side pools with public procurement, becoming a tool for innovative thinking that funneled through all branches of government. Did you hear? E-card, welfare state, These are all predictions. Things like that, these discussions weren't happening in 2020. These are things we heard in 2021, 2022. She predicted they were going to be doing that. Hasn't it really been happening? Yes, it has. In many countries, these things are already on demand. Let's move on to number 4. Look at this. The US began to change its approach after November 3rd, 2020, when Joe Biden defeated Donald Trump in a presidential election and the Democrats held the majority in both houses and Congress. Guys, she wrote this in 2020. How in the world did she know that Mr. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris were going to defeat Donald Trump? How did she know that the presidential election and the Democrats had the majority of the houses of Congress? How did they know that they held the majority? How in the world did this woman know these things? Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? You gotta read this whole article. I know I'm highlighting a few things here and there because I don't have time to go through the whole entire thing. But the stuff that we have here so far is mind-blowing enough for me. Now, let's move on to number 5. And the question is, didn't this come to pass? Do I need to show you anything? It did. Yeah, they won. Just as planned, right? Should we say? Or maybe coincidence, possibly. With COVID-19 still rampant, the world wake up to the need to prioritize collective intelligence and put public value at the center of health innovation. The US and other countries dropped opposition to mandatory parent tool run by the World Health Organization that prevented pharmaceutical companies from abusing patents to create monopoly profits. Uh-oh. Did you hear what she said? Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Don't you see the monopoly taking place, economically speaking? Okay, think about it this way. Here are these big businesses, and then Pestilence 19 came out of nowhere, and you gotta shut your door, and you're not making any money, right? Guess what's happening to your financial system? It's dying. And then here comes these big organization, these big companies, and they are buying the smaller companies. You know, your grandma's business store, your average store down the block can't survive. But the other big businesses that are backed up by the government are doing perfectly fine. And it's what's happening is that the monopoly is that the smaller ones are being bought by the bigger ones and the larger ones. And these small businesses now have to say, man, how do we make it? You know how many people lost their business as a result of the shutdowns? You know how many businesses were shut down? People literally went bankrupt as a result of this? She said this was going to happen. She said they were going to have this financial monopoly. This was already laid in store for it to take place. Bad conditions were placed on the governance of intellectual property, pricing and manufacturing of COVID treatments and vaccines to ensure the therapies were both affordable and universally accessible. Also came true. Now, I could say so much more, guys. I think I'm gonna read just a few more. You gotta read this article on your own and examine it for yourself. Let's move to the next. Let's look at this one. On February 11, 2021, this lady is writing this article in 2020, guys. Don't forget that. What is she talking about? She even put a date on it, right? The FDA approved the most promising a pestilence 19 vaccine for manufacture in the US. I got news for you. Actually, that is true. And I'm not sure on the date, the 11th, but it was in 2021 that this was approved. As a matter of fact, it was approved a little bit earlier for people in the nursing homes and elderly, but in 2021, it became for the public. Significant knowledge. How did she know a vaccine was going to be created for suppose a virus that literally was new, came in 2020, really began to spread? How did she know a vaccine was going to be created and was going to be approved in 2021? And it was. It says, approved the most promising COVID-19 vaccine for manufacturing in the US. Mass production began immediately. Plans for the swift global distribution kicked in, and the first citizens received their shots within 3 weeks. Free at the point of use. It was free at the point of use now. It was the fastest development and manufactured of a vaccine on record, and a monumental success in health innovation. Whoa. Did you know that to create a vaccine, it takes well over 5 to 10 years of study to get a correct vaccine created? Pestilence 19, pandemic, and the inoculation, the vaccine for that, was already ready before the virus itself came out. Some say, oh no, just created it, they did it in a matter of a year. Really? How is this possible? Unless you already had a vaccine in somewhere else. But you needed a virus to test it. And guess what? You got your virus and then you bring your vaccine out. That's a possibility as well. I don't know. I'm not conjecturing. I'm not speculating here. I'm saying this is a possibility. Or the science has so much change, have become so innovative, like she says, a monumental success in health innovation. Really? How did that become a monumental success in health innovation? Naturally, this is not supposed to be happening. But it did, though. We got a vaccine for a new disease that literally came out a few days later. Out of nowhere, we were ready for it. Lord have mercy. Do you see what I'm talking about, guys? Maybe it's not a vaccine, it's a shot. Vaccine predates 2020. All planned. Pestilence 19 was planned. Pestilence 19 on it. The test as a patient. Wow. And that's something. These are all reasons I still believe. Wow. Been researching time for the past 2 years. The election was stolen. I can disagree with you. Because when you're reading stuff like this, you say, yeah, there's some shady stuff going on. Certainly. So let's read a few more. And then I'm almost done, guys. Please be patient with me. It says, when vaccine was ready for distribution, national health authorities work constructively with a coalition of global health actors and led by who? The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and others. She named some names now. And guess who's been really pushing the idea of a virus? Right? These philanthropists. These men who are supposedly trying to save the world. They're these moneyed men. Guess who's been saying, hey, look out for a virus? Bill Gates, Melinda, their foundation. I know now they're separated and so on, but whatever. But the point is, they were talking about a virus such as Pestilence 19 years in advance. Bill Gates talked about this way before, and then he comes back to the fact that there was also a coalition of global actors. Actors? Bill Gates and Melinda Gates Foundation? All of them had a part to play in the vaccine. So did they have a part to play in the virus also? I don't know. I'm just asking questions. Don't blame me. I'm just reading. To collectively devise an equitable global distribution plan that supported public health goals, low and middle income countries along with health workers, essential workers. You know what's crazy, guys? These were words that we were hearing during Pestilence 19 when it was at its worst. Essential workers, health workers. Look at this. We're granted priority access to the vaccine. Friends, this is the truth. Listen, man. Listen, I spent 12 something years in a nursing home working. My wife is a nurse. We can confirm this. The first place where Pestilence 19 was to be injected was among the healthcare workers and the residents. Boy, I heard some stories though, but I'll stay quiet and get myself in trouble over here. While higher income countries rolled out immunization program in parallel. Have mercy. Lord have mercy. Let's move on to the next point. I don't have to say anything else. Didn't we see that? Do I have to affirm and confirm this? Now, let's look at this. Hey, thank you, new subscriber. I'm glad you're here. Now, let's move on. Now, look at number 7. Guys, you thought you've heard anything? Please be patient with me. I know this is a little bit different than our normal discussion. We have Tom McDonald coming up, guys. We're going to react to Pestilence 19, Coronavirus by Tom McDonald. Coronavirus by Mr. Tom, because he's going to put his finger on the thing, as he always does. Now, listen to this, guys. The end was in sight for our health crisis. But in June 2021, the global economy was still in a depressed state. True or false? Wasn't it true? In 2021, right around the month of June, things were really bad, economically speaking, for a lot of families. Business was shut down. Many stores, many places of worship were shut down. As a matter of fact, we had to close our church right around that time. In 2021, we went online. We went online for 3 months. Listen, the NBAs were shut down. Football, all these other places closed down and your business shut down. What does that do to the economy? It chokes it. You choke the economy. You kill the economy by shutting down businesses. People can't make a living. Those businesses can't survive. Well, perfect. What do you do now? Look at this. Guys, I couldn't make that one up. As governments started debating their opinions for new stimulus package. Wait a minute. Wait. Did you look at the record? Did you know when the stimulus package were actually beginning to become a topic of discussion? It was right after June 2021. That is crazy to me, because I'm sitting here like, wait. Yeah, Joe Biden and yeah. Won the election, came as the one who's gonna fix all of our problems, presented a stimulus package. Of course, we benefited from that, but look what he's doing to the economy now, but let's stay quiet though. We got the inflation that we're paying for. That's the money from the stimulus package, by the way, guys. We paying it back. But anyway, so exactly as she predicted, these things were happening. A wave of public protest broke out, with taxpayers in Brazil, Germany, Canada, elsewhere calling for share rewards in exchange for bailing out cooperation. Guys, if this woman had written this article like 2022 or something like that, I wouldn't be reading this. I'll be like, oh yeah, whatever. You did some good research. No, this was written in 2020, guys. That is my problem. That's why I'm going crazy here right now, because I'm like, are you a prophet? I don't think so. Far from it. Are you just guessing? Are you nut? Are you conjecturing? Far from it. I don't think so. But what's the next option? Are you an insider? Maybe. Let me go back. Let me read that to you again. A wave of public protest broke out with taxpayers in Brazil, Germany, Canada, and elsewhere, calling for shared rewards in exchange for bailing out corporate giants. Have mercy. Didn't it happen? Come on, man. Come on. But now, here's the next point. You haven't heard nothing yet, guys. I have like just 2 more to read. With Biden in office, the U.S. took these demands seriously and attached strong condition to the next wave of corporate bailouts. Corporate bailouts? Welfare state stimulate package? So this is talking about helping businesses. Companies receive funds were required to maintain payrolls and pay their workers a minimum wage of how much? $15 per hour. Oh, man. Guys, I don't know if I need to prove this. I can find the article for you. Do you remember when President Joe Biden started talking about now, if you think I'm crazy, here is the article for you. This is the White House. Statement by President Joe Biden on a 15 minimum wage for federal workers and contractors going into effect. Guys, when did this? Now, this is when it went into effect. This discussion has been going on since 2021. Okay? It's been going on since 2021. Yeah. Now, we can go on and on. But exactly $15 minimum wage. Exactly. Not 14. Not 16. Not 10. We went from 7.5 to 15. Mr. Joe Biden requested that. And guess what, guys? She's on point again. She's on point again. 2020, she knew this. And this wasn't even a discussion until 2021. And she wrote this in 2020. Come on, friends. Come on. Are we supposed to just put on these blinders and say, okay, it was maybe a good guess? Guess? Are you crazy? Guess? What do you mean guess? How did she know those things? I'm no conspiracy theorist. I'm just looking at the facts. Come on, friends. Let's look at that. Have mercy. What are you guys saying in the chat? Gonna call cancer, according to Brandon. The stimulus package won't do anything with the economy still closed. The dollars are in circulation bill and were printed in the last couple of years. Mercy. Sue Reb. Print money, run down the value of the dollar. Yeah, run it up. And bring cryptocurrency. Yeah, Bitcoins and so on. Yep, I did a video about cryptocurrency, by the way. Right? Yeah, I did a video about cryptocurrency. And, you know, these, I don't know, these other means of taking care of money. Have mercy. Anyway, guys, I'm so thankful that you all guys are being patient with me here. Now, I want you to see the next strong statement. The next strong statement is crucial. Let's move down to this one. In summer 2022, the major crisis of our age took a turn for the apocalyptic. By the way, the word apocalyptic came from the word apocalypse. Is where you get the word revelation from. We use it in English to say something really bad, but the word apocalypse simply means to reveal, to make known. But the idea is, the fact she's using that word in summer 2022, guys, this is where you need to pay attention. She made all these other predictions that we can affirm actually did come to pass, according to their plans. Now, she said in summer 2022, we almost there. What's going to happen? The major crisis of our age took a turn for the worse. She is telling you something that's going to happen, guys, in the next few months. What is she talking about? Wait a minute. Climate change breakdown finally landed into the developed world, testing the resilience of social systems. In the Midwestern US, a severe drought wiped out crops and supplied 1/6 of the world's grain output. Guys, let me tell you something. I've done my homework. We're not even in the summer of 2022 yet. What she's talking about is already happening. Have you heard about the crops in the Midwest that are literally like these farmers just don't even have what it takes, and these droughts and famines are coming as a result? Haven't you been paying attention to the news? They're already talking about that, and we're not even yet in summer, which implies things are going to get worse. I said, no way. This woman, she knew something. There's no way you can talk like that. You can't talk like that. Have mercy. Now, let me find it for you guys. Guys, it's no joke. I'm telling you, it's no joke. Now, there are so many articles we can go to that already speaks about this. Pinole, country farmers struggle to grow crops with less water. And there are many others you can find. Local farmers. Yeah. Actually, you can, yeah, there it is. There goes another video. Drought forces farmers to abandon field of dry crops. Yep. And it's been said there's going to be such a serious famine 2022. I hate to be a bearer of bad news, guys. I hate to be a bearer of bad news. My job here is never to scare people to death. But what I'm trying to tell you is just brace yourself. Things are not going to get worse, but I believe my God is in charge. Don't get me wrong. With all of this discussion I'm having right now, I'm in no way doubting God that at the end of the day, he always has the last say. Men can plan all they want to plan, but the Lord is the one who has the final say. And I know that with all my heart. But I'm not going to be blind enough, put on this Christian veneer as if things are not being discussed here and we should just close our eyes to the facts. Now, listen to this. Listen to this discussion.
Farmers are struggling to keep up with new rules about THC levels that took effect in January. News Channel 5's Kyle Horan is checking in with one farmer he spoke to earlier this month who was waiting on results to come back.
The small business owner hopes his cautionary tale can be a lesson for others.
This is not where a hemp producer wants to be. Seth Fuller of Nashland Farms is having to burn some of his crop. Hemp plants that just barely didn't meet the USDA guidelines for total THC content in the plant.
This crop on our second test done by the TDA has come back hot, which is above the 0.3% total percent THC.
Many people are familiar with Delta-9 THC. It's the compound in cannabis that gets a person high. Hemp farmers try to regulate that, and many are successful. But the new rules mean about 10 other compounds in the plant also have to be under 0.3%. Fuller calls them precursors. An example is THCA, which is an acid in the plant. It's the compound they've struggled with, and now we'll force him to do this. An attempt to remediate the crop by having it tested.
Yeah, we can go on and on. I think, yeah, let's go back to the article. But the point is, friends, watch out. In the middle of the summer, we should expect some famines to start breaking out all over the place. Crops are not growing, severe droughts, and this is going to lead to food shortages and starvation. And by the way, what's happening in Ukraine right now and the war with Russia is already setting the stage. Look at this news. Look at this news, guys. You want to stay till the end because I have some good news for you. Yeah, where the Green New Deal. I'm gonna come back to that. Biden says to expect real food shortage due what? To Ukraine war. Did you hear? Did you hear? Did you hear? Biden said it's going to be real. It's gonna be real. The price of the sanctions is not just imposed upon Russia. It's imposed upon an awful lots of countries as well, including European countries and our country as well. So we still choking the economy in the name of not supporting Putin war, which I understand. I see the nature of this. But guess who's paying for it? Big time. We are. We didn't get a pay raise. No. But who's responsible for the decisions that these guys are making? Who's paying for it? We are. I am. Not them. You know, they roll the red carpet and live in a pretty nice house. We down there, as the grassroots movement, we that are living on social security checks, we that are living from paycheck to paycheck, are the one who's feeling the heat. They don't. But you better stay quiet, James, before you get yourself in trouble online. All right, let's look at one last thing, guys. It says people woke up to the need for government to form, look at this, coordinated response to climate change and direct global fiscal stimulus in support of what? A green economy. That is so disturbing, guys. That is absolutely disturbing. So, did they know the whole time? The plan was to create a green economy. So part of the problems that we now seeing is to lead to the goal where this plan can be achieved. Is that really what they're telling me right now? Maybe. I'll let you guys decide. Here's the last one. Yet, this was not just big government, but smart government. The transition to a green economy. Do you hear those words? Green economy, green economy. This is about money, guys. Follow the money. The scripture tells us in 2 Timothy, I believe it's chapter 3, I think it's verse 6. It tells us that for the love of money is the root of all kind of evil, which while some coveted after, they err from the faith and pierce themselves through with many sorrows. Lovers of money, lovers of themselves. A lot of them, they don't really care about people. They don't even care about their lives. War in Ukraine, somebody's making money. Pestilence 19, somebody's making money. Every time you see a new trouble, while some are suffering, somebody's making big bucks on top of it all. It's always been the plan. Yet, this was not just big government, but smart government, really. The transition to a green economy, which is the goal, the green economy concept, you can simply attach it to the Great Reset. When you hear her say green economy, just put Great Reset right there. And by the way, the Great Reset movement, when you study it in nature, it is a movement intentionally driven to oppose capitalism. Okay? The Great Reset is simply globalism, guys. The Great Reset is this notion of a new world order. And listen, man, I'm gonna do a video and break down what this idea is all about, because actually it has a biblical narrative attached to it. But the Great Reset is connected to that. So what's happening, guys? It is this globalism type of economy that is being inserted and used. And these things are happening, all these different events are being used to their advantage so that they can eventually bring about what they call a green economy. But the green economy really is connected to the Great Reset. But the Great Reset is really globalism. So the idea of capitalism, which means that the people, they make their own businesses, right? We take care of ourselves down here. We make our money and so on. That's under attack. Okay? They can't, some powers, there are some people who can't stand that. So what the rich want to do, the 1% who owns just about almost everything, the 1% owns well over 90% wealth, something. Oh, 10% owns 90% wealth of the world, or the 2%, whatever they call it. So They are the one who are making the decisions to change things around so that it could be suitable for them to control all the finances of the world, period. This is about money. Requires innovation of an enormous scale, spanning multiple sectors and entire supply chains? What did she know about supply chains 2020? What did she know about supply chains? That wasn't even a discussion in 2020, but it hasn't been a discussion lately, right? These supply chains, these tractor trailers are sitting there and they're not making it to the stores. They're not making it to the people, and people are hungry and starving, and all this is being done in the name of safety, public safety. Or we don't have gas, or we don't have the means, or we have some issues going. It was written already, guys. It's part of the guideline. Every stage of technology development. Now let's say some more. Every stage of technology development, from R&D to development to deployment, regional, national, and supranational level, ambitious Green New Deal program rose to the occasion, combining job guarantee schemes with focus industrial strategy. Government use procurement grants and loan stimulus to stimulate as much innovation as possible, helping fund solution to rid the ocean plastic and reduce the digital divide and tackle poverty and inequality. Guys, this is pretty much the end of the article. I would say read the rest of it. Read the rest of it. It will really open your eyes. But the idea of the Green New Deal, healthy Green New Deal, a green economy, really is this globalism type of economy that they are looking to impose for the purpose of saving the economy of the world, and they will use just about anything possible to bring it to pass. And also the connection has something to do with climate change. We heard the word climate change in there. Climate change, certainly, this going back to being more greener, right? This reducing gas emission concept, this you wonder why the pipelines have been shut down. You wonder why we are not willing to drill at home because we have to buy our oil somewhere else, and when we do have resources at home. But why? Because the climate change supporters and motivators won't allow it to take place. And the concept of the climate change, I got so much more I could speak about that. I will save another video for this. The concept of the climate change in itself is not completely true. There's a lot of stuff that are being left out. There are a lot of stuff that are being left out, and it needs to be studied in a balanced way, not just from a Western perspective. Because when you study the climate change, even from the East, even listen to what the Russians are saying and how they study the climate in themselves. I'm not here to promote Russia propaganda, no, but it's good to hear what other countries think and how they study and how they read what we're supposedly being told is the fact today. Things don't really line up. But anyway, I'll stay quiet. I want to hear what you guys have in the chat, because we have one more reaction to do, guys. I don't know. Yeah. Socialism on a mass scale. Utopia. You will own less and be happy. Yeah, that's what they say. The Great Reset people, right? In other words, you're gonna own. This spirit of, everything you have to subscribe to this thing, or give me this much money per month and things like that. We kind of have to owe everybody for anything, and that's a problem. Even online, you're trying to get some, when you do these videos, you're trying to get some songs or anything like that. It's like, yeah, you gotta pay this much money for it. I want to get a few videos, you gotta pay this much money for it. You have to subscribe. You have to give me a monthly subscription. It's like everything has to be owned by somebody else, and you have to beg them. You have to give them your money for everything. It's crazy. Like, what happened to just us buying it and own it for ourselves? We can't even do that anymore. You can't own it. You have to borrow. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, NWO manifesto. That's right. That's right. That's what's really behind that. Yeah. You said UN, NATO, World Economic Forum, Great Reset, decrease the world population, Agenda 2020. Didn't work, and now it's Agenda 2030. Whoa. Wow, that's a mouthful. That is a mouthful. Yo, guys, there's some real strange things taking place in the world, but I'm gonna give you a word of encouragement, though. I'll tell you something, though. One thing that remains true: God is still in charge. God is in charge. You don't have to doubt him. And I'm not trying to be overly spiritually here. No, it's not the point. But I don't want you to do is to become fearful. No, never. While we should be aware and mindful of what's happening, don't be afraid. But be proactive, though. You know, do what you need to do. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. That's the verse I'm looking for. Yeah, he's the one. At the end of the day, God is the one who makes the final call. I don't trust. I'm not fearing any man. Evil motive. I'm gonna trust my God. Yeah. But here's the thing. Isaiah said, I love how the prophet Isaiah said, he says, instead of you trusting in conspiracy, look to God. Let him be your fear. Let him be your dread. Yeah, there you go. I found it. Here we are. It says this. It says, the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not talk in the way of these people. What God is saying is to the prophet, don't get fearful and talk like everybody else is talking. Look at the context. Say ye not a confederacy. By the way, the word confederacy here, it can be translated conspiracy. It can be an alliance between a group of people. It could be a conspiracy or a treason, or that's what a confederacy is. So the word conspiracy is in the Bible. It's there. It's there in context. He said, to all of these people shall say, a confederacy, fear ye them their fear, and not be afraid. God says, listen, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists and conspiracy stuff going on behind the scene. He's not saying it doesn't exist, but this is what God says. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. No matter how big they're planning, listen. God always has the final say. He says, neither fear you their fear, nor be afraid. Don't be afraid. No matter what man is doing. And it says, this is what you need to be doing. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself. Let him be your fear, and let him be your dread. Who do we fear? I should fear God. As long as I fear the Lord, I don't care what man says. They can only do what God allows them to do. I don't have to be afraid of them. I'm going to trust my God. And this is what I could say for guys. Trust in the Lord in all your heart. Let me find it for you. I think it's Proverbs 3. If I may say one more thing before I react to my final video. Look at this. Look at this. It says this, trust in the Lord with all thine heart. And then he says, do not rely on your own understanding. Think about him in all your ways, and he will guide you on the right path. You put your faith in God. You trust him above the wickedness of men. You don't worry about what they're doing. Yeah, you're aware of it. You acknowledge it. You understand there's some people that have some insidious motives. Yeah, they have their plans. They have their goals. But the Lord has a way of overriding all of that. He allows them to go on, and comes to a point where the Lord says, change things around. And what you and I need to be doing right now is to put your confidence in God. Read that Bible, friend. Pray. Ask him to give you courage, bravery, strength, faith, endurance. That's what we need. And as he gives that to you, you be the person, you be that woman, you be that man that he created you to be. Simple as that. And you live to all the light that you have in your heart. All the truth that he reveals, you live up to it. You walk by faith. You walk with courage, with confidence, with strength, because you know that he's watching over you. Yeah, they have their plans, but God's plan always overrides man's plan. Yeah, they have their notion. Yeah, they have their goals. They predicted this and they predict that, and things are coming to pass as they think. But guess what? I love what David says. I will not fear. I will not fear what men will do unto me. Now watch this. And I'm hoping I'm giving you a word of encouragement here, because after all this bad news, you can be like, oh Lord, where do we go from here? No. Listen, you don't have to be afraid. Look at this. I'm going to give you 2 verses. The first one is every day. Look at this one. This one says, guys, look at this. In God have I put my trust. Put your trust in God. I will not be afraid what men can do unto me. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid. Be aware. Be careful. But don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. There's another text that says, whenever I am afraid, I will trust in you. But I'm going to leave that alone for now. I will leave that alone for now. Listen, Tom McDonald, I'm ready. Guys, are you ready for this? All right, let's bring this thing to a close. I'm ready for Tom McDonald.